Hi everyone, Nigel Saunders here. Welcome to part 11 of making miniature bonsai pots. The other day I had an hour before we left for Toronto and I thought, well, I'll try making a pot as fast as I can in an hour, and I got a really nice pot made. I'll show you what it looks like. Here is a look at the pot. So it's a rectangular pot with scalloped sides. Yeah, I think it turned out really nice. It's a very small pot. I'll show you the size of it. So here's my finger. Yeah, very, very small. But it turned out nice. Rectangular pot. So that is another pot to add to the drying rack. I was happy with the way that latest pot turned out. It's very small and it's quite precise. I used a lot of those tools that Scott Wennard sent me and they really helped. So I'm going to try making another one, and I'm going to sort of try and time myself so I can make another pot in an hour. And I think I can with these new tools. I've got a small piece of clay here. So I'm going to try and make a round pot. So I'll roll it, kind of getting this basic cylinder shape ready, and then I will cut the ends off, making them square. There's one end off and the other end off. So that's got my basic pot shape established. Okay, next I'm going to use my bead tool and lay out the bottom. Make sure it's clean. Okay, here I go. Okay, so that's got the bottom. Then I need to flatten the top, so I'll use my height gauge and just skim the top off to make it parallel with the bottom. Just take a little bit off at first. Actually, that got it pretty flat. That's good. Okay. So I'll flip it over now, and I'll do the bead on the bottom, which will be my lip. Like that. That's looking good. And then I'll sculpt the sides. So I'm going to make this a curvaceous pot again. So I'll use my round tool, which is here. And I will sculpt away the top, making it nice and round. Then I'll do the same at the bottom, sculpting away a bit more to get some taper in the pot. And then I'll start tapering the sides. I think I have to take a little more off the bottom. I should be using my straight edge tool for this to taper it. I'm just going to make, I think, straight sides, tapered sides on it. That's getting there. Now I better true up the base a bit. It's a bit off round. I'll rescribe that bead at the bottom. Now, a little more sculpting on the sides, I think. Getting them trued up and round. That's looking okay. Now, I'm going to run a rounded part around the bottom too. Okay. Now I'll use my bead tool again. Try and even that up. Okay. Well, that's got a bottom for sure. Okay. More smoothing on the sides. That's next on the agenda. And then I have to make sure it's round too. It's a little out of round. Okay, it's time to work on the feet. I'm just redoing my bead at the bottom. Like that. And then I've got to decide what kind of feet I want on this. Maybe we'll try a 3-foot design on this one. Do you think? Maybe? So I'll come in, I'll flip it over, and decide about the feet. Well, let me lay them out. Okay, then I will scoop away my material between the feet. I think I'll use the rounded tool. Be a little more precise. I've got my 3 feet put in place. Looking good. So next I've got to begin hollowing out the top of the pot. And to do that, I think I'm going to use my round tool, and I'll just come in and start removing material. So I'll work away at hollowing the pot out, and we'll come back and have a look at it. I'm getting close to the right depth in the pot, so I'm going to add my drainage hole now. And I'll try the new tool that Scott sent me to make the drainage hole. So here I go. I'll just put one in the middle. Just like that. Okay, I can finish hollowing out the inside now that I can see how deep the bottom of the pot is. So I have a little more to hollow out here, which is good. It'll increase the volume in the pot so I can fit more soil in. Well, it's getting there. I'll just do a little cleanup work inside, and I think the depth will be good. I think my wall thickness is quite good. Not too thick, not too thin. Because the clay is so thin now, it's starting to dry very quickly. Okay, now I just want to smooth that inner edge, so I just use my pin tool and come around and kind of break that edge. Make sure it's nice and smooth. Well, that is looking good, the lip of my pot. The feet are looking good. I think it's getting close to being finished. I'm just going to work on my upper lip here. I'm just going to take a bit off, get rid of that edge that the beading tool left. Okay, nice smooth rounded lip. That's looking good. Then I'm wondering, I want some kind of pattern in the side of this, and I'm wondering if I run in like a bead around it or something. That might look nice. So I need a spacer to get my bead tool up to the right height. Just to put a bit of a decorative element in the pot. And these indentations and that, if you glaze them, they make a nice Bit of variation in the glaze that looks good. The glaze kind of flows around them. Yes, that adds a bit of style to the pot. I think it looks pretty cool. Now, do I need one around the bottom? I think I do, to continue this trend. So I'll use, what do I use? I need something just a little thicker than that ruler. Maybe I can use this piece of wood here. Use the right end of this tool. I just remembered I better sign the bottom. So I'll put my initials, NRS. RS. And the date. 2/0/2. There we go. It is signed and dated. Okay, a little bit of cleanup work and the pot will be done. Here is a look at the pot all finished. It's very small. It's very, very small, this pot. But it's nice. It's a nice looking pot. Got a bit of style to it. It's functional. It'll be fairly deep. I can fit some soil in there and maybe a little succulent or something. Yeah, so that's another pot completed. Another different style pot. Here's a look at all the pots I've made so far. The rectangular one, my tall round one, my one with the scalloped sides, my oval shape, my kind of oval shape with the curved sides, a deeper oval, the new rectangular one there, the rectangular one with the fancy feet, my Vietnam style pot, and then my large oval pot. Yeah, so that's quite a variety of pots so far. Outside here we have our first sunny day in probably 2, maybe 3 weeks. It's been a long time since we've seen blue sky. So very, very nice. The plant room will be very happy today with the sun shining in. I'm going to continue working away making more pots this afternoon. I won't show you the process of making them because you've seen all my techniques in previous videos. So I'll work away this afternoon and then we'll come back and look at the new pots that I've made. I have finished another pot, a rectangular pot. So there it is. I'll flip it over. Yeah, so that's my rectangular pot. Here is another pot finished, a rather unusual pot. Kind of a spherical shape with a hollowed out inside and rough edges. So it has feet on the bottom and a drainage hole. So yeah, a bit of an unusual pot. I thought it might be nice for a little accent plant or something to accompany a bonsai. Something a little different. The sun is setting, so it's the end of another day. I got one more pot made, a little oval pot. Let's have a look at it. So there's the bottom. I'll flip it over. And there's what it looks like. So it's a little oval pot. Yeah, it turned out quite nice, I think. So I'll add that to the collection over here. And that will be it. I made, how many pots did I make? 1, 2, 3, 4. And I finished off one pot today, so that's pretty good. For me, anyway. Yeah, so lots of tiny miniature bonsai pots drying away to eventually get fired in the kiln. I'll be making more miniature pots tomorrow, but that's all for today. I'm Nigel Saunders. Thanks for joining me in the Bonsai Zone.